Greetings. This is St. Mark's Episcopal Church, Richmond, Texas. I am Chris Abbott, the Christian formation teacher for the Kids Kingdom group, which includes youth in grades 1 through 5. We continue to offer this YouTube Christian formation every week for you. Of course, we'd much rather be together and be at church and be in the classroom, but unfortunately we can't. So we continue to learn about God's kingdom and the Bible through YouTube instead. So miss all of you, hi to all of you, and sometime we will be together soon in the not too distant future. You should have your Children's Illustrated Bible and the bag for Adam and Eve number 3. This is September 27th. If you haven't already joined, please call me or the church and we'll get you signed up and get you the materials you need so that you can participate each week with us and have you join us. This is our third and final week of the Adam and Eve lesson. Last week at the end, my challenge was to have you listen to God and see if He was able to direct you into making the right choices when you're trying to make a decision. And I hope that you were able to do that last week and that was successful for you. We begin with prayer. Dear Lord, please show us a way out so that we will not give in to temptation. And thank you for forgiving us when we do make bad choices. Amen. So, if you would open the Bible to page 20 and follow along while we read the story for the last time so that we know this story well. The Garden of Eden. In the east, in Eden, God made a garden in which He grew every tree and plant. And at the very center stood the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. God put the man into the garden, telling him he might eat any fruit he wished, except from the tree of knowledge. For if he were to eat that, he would die. God brought to man Adam, all the animals so that he might name them. God then sent Adam into a deep sleep, and while he slept, He took one of the ribs, and out of it He made a woman, so that Adam would have a wife. Both Adam and Eve, his wife, walked naked and happy in the garden and had no need of clothes. Now the serpent, the most devious of all living creatures, questioned Eve, asking her if she could eat any fruit she pleased. Yes, she said, any fruit except that from the tree of knowledge. If we eat that, we will die. But you will not die, said the serpent. Instead, you will discover the difference between good and evil, and so will be equal with God. The woman gazed at the tree and was tempted by the juicy fruit that would make her wise. She picked one and ate it, gave one to her husband, and he ate it, and they looked at each other and became aware of their nakedness. They quickly gathered some fig leaves, which they sewed together to cover themselves. In the cool of the evening, they heard the voice of the Lord as God walked in the garden, and they hid so that God would not see them. God called to Adam, Adam, where are you? Adam said, I heard your voice and I was afraid, so I hid. If you are afraid, then I know you must have eaten from the tree whose fruit I told you not to eat. It was the woman who gave me the fruit. And Eve said, it was the serpent who tempted and deceived me. Then God cursed the serpent and banished him from the garden. He gave clothes to Adam and Eve, saying, Now that you know both good and evil, you must leave Eden. You cannot stay for fear you might eat also from the tree of life. And if you did that, you would live forever. And God drove them out of the garden and into the world. At the east of Eden, he stationed cherubim and placed a flaming sword to guard the entrance to the garden and to the tree of life. All right. Let's think about choices you've made in the last week. What about food choices? Healthy food? Bad for you food? Too much food? Not enough food? Think of those choices you made. What about activity choices you made in the last week? Working on your schoolwork, having some fun, some exercise, play. How about the choices in what you wore and the clothes you decided to wear on any particular day? All of those are different choices. And how about the chores you have to do at home? Did you do them on time? Did you do them cheerfully? Did you complete them the way that you know that you're supposed to do them? All of those are choices that you're given every day. Now, think about something you did this last week that you were really happy with what you did, and it was a good choice. Maybe a younger brother or sister needed some help with a puzzle or a game or maybe some homework, and you stepped right up and you volunteered to help, and you did and helped them do whatever they needed done, and you felt really good about that afterwards, and you were patting yourself on the back for having done something that was the right thing, and you made the right choice, and maybe God was kind of helping you make that right decision, and you felt good. Okay? Now think about maybe a choice you made this last week that wasn't quite so good. Your mom was real tired at the end of a long day, and she needed help taking out the garbage, or she needed help taking some of the clean laundry to your bedroom. And you just slacked off, and you didn't volunteer to help, and you complained that you were tired, and it was hot, and you didn't want to do it, and oh, you had all those excuses in the world. Not good. And you looked back later and thought, nah, that wasn't right. I should have helped. I should have volunteered. And so you asked for forgiveness from your mom. I'm sorry. I should have helped. I'll help you next time. That won't happen again. Sorry, Mom. Sorry. Yeah. So two different options there. Okay. So can we learn by our mistakes? Sure we can. Yes. God can guide us, helps us to see what the right thing to do is so that we don't make the same mistake again. And that the next time Mom is tired and the next time the trash has to go out, yep, you step right up and say, okay, I got it right now. Or the next time Mom or Dad says, it's time to work on your schoolwork, let's go. You're not moaning and groaning and complaining and making up excuses. No. Okay, fine. I did that last time. I'm not going to do that again. Nope. Yeah, you're right. I'll get with it right away. Let me go get my book. Let's go. Okay? You have alternatives. You have options. God is helping you to see what those choices can be in your life so that you make the right choice and that you have asked for forgiveness if you've made the wrong choice. We all make wrong choices. Sure we do. But do we ask for forgiveness and do it right the next time? That's what really proves whether or not we've learned our lesson. So, in this week's bag, Adam and Eve number 3, September 27th, you had a plain sheet with an apple and a leaf, and you had some green and red construction paper. And the first thing you should do is cut out the apple and the leaf, like I did, and then use them to trace them on the red and the green paper, so that the apples are the things that you're going to promise to not do. Those are the bad things. Those are in red, like stop, like a stoplight. And the leaves that are green are the good things, like a go, like a signal. And those are the things that you're going to promise to do. So like, for example, on my green leaf, I say, I promise to be kind to others. Okay? And on my red leaf, I promise not to slack off doing the laundry. I'm going to do it and get with it and get it done. Right? If you don't want to write a whole sentence like I did, that's okay. You can draw a picture of whatever it is. So I could draw on my promise to be kind to others. Maybe I'd draw a heart or a smiley face and somebody's happy because I have helped them. And on the laundry, I could draw this big pile of laundry and all this dirty clothes that have to be washed, whichever you want. Okay, so after you get all of the leaves cut out in the red and green and you have written or drawn on them, you will find in your package of supplies a big tree. And then you can tape or glue your apples and your leaves to the tree. And you can find someplace in your room or in the house to put your tree, and that will help you remember about the things you should or shouldn't be doing, and using God's guidance to make the right decisions for your behavior, what the things, the good and bad things, and the choices that you're making every day. Good. And once again, if somebody at home would like to send me a picture of your tree, I'd sure like to see it. Being as we're not together, that would be the only way, and I'd love to see your completed trees. That would be wonderful. So, in conclusion, we always say the Lord's Prayer together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. This concludes our 3 weeks of the study of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Starting next week on October the 4th, we are going to be moving on further into the Old Testament, and we will be looking at the story of Cain and Abel. So, I will look forward to seeing you then. Still missing all of your shining faces, but Sunday we'll be back together. So, in the meantime, goodbye from St. Mark's Episcopal Church, Richmond, Kids Kingdom. Bye-bye. See you next week.